friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Zita, and on my channel I do DIYs and makeovers on a budget. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at OakWell Home. So let's get started on today's DIYs and see what I've created. Today I'm happy to be co-hosting the third Thursday Thrift Flips along with our host Tammy from the Rusted Willow and Elizabeth from the Rustic Chicks Designs. So once you've finished watching my video, don't forget to go in my description box where you'll find the playlist for all the other amazing creators. So let's get started and see what I've created for you today. Starting out with this cupboard door that I picked up from the Habitat for Humanity. And I'm not sure what kind of wood this is, but it's really hard. So it was already navy when I picked it up. So first I'm going to apply this Fusion Ultra Grip. This is going to help my paint stick to that really slick surface. So I'm going to paint that all over and then let that dry, and then I'm going to apply my paint. For this one, I wanted to create a green chalk paint, and I didn't have any on hand. I only mixed up a white and a black for myself. So I'm going to show you here how I created a chalk paint for this. You're going to want to get yourself some plaster of Paris. That's what I'm using here. I picked that up at my local hardware store. So I'm putting a third cup of plaster of Paris and a third cup of water. Now, if you want your chalk paint a little thicker, you can add a little less water. But I find when you add less water, your chalk paint will dry up faster. And then you're going to want to put a cup of paint. So I had a bunch of green acrylic paints on hand. So guys, if you can't afford the chalk paint, because I know they are very expensive, or you just want something on the spot, this is how you can create some chalk paint for yourself. So I'm using a bunch of different color greens here, some light, medium, and dark, and until I get the color of green that I want, and until I fill up to a cup of paint. So I'm just going back and forth, applying all the different colors. And at the end, I do add in a little bit of charcoal gray and a little bit of black to get the color of green that I want. And it turned out beautiful. So if you want to make some chalk paint for yourself, I also have a video on how to make it. I made some white chalk paint before as well. So I'll put that in my description box for you. So once you have your full cup of paint, whether it's one color or multiple colors, you're going to want to mix that in with your plaster of Paris and water mixture. And voila, you have some chalk paint for yourself. So once my Fusion Ultra Grip has dried on my cupboard door, I'm going to apply my homemade chalk paint. And I gave this 3 coats, and I used my heat gun to help it along with the drying process in between. So what do you think of this green color, my friends? I love it. So next I'm using this Dollar Tree gift tissue paper. So this is another inexpensive way to decoupage. So I picked up a whole bunch of gift tissue paper from the Dollar Tree. So you're going to see that in some future projects. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see what I make in the future with all the different tissue papers that I got. Isn't this a beautiful paper? So I'm just applying this inside, and I'm going to use a crafter's knife to cut it along the edge, and you're going to want to use a sharp one so you don't give your tissue paper a jagged edge. Now this tissue paper is thin, so you're going to want to apply it very carefully so it doesn't rip when you're applying your Mod Podge or whatever decoupage medium you're using. So usually underneath your decoupage paper, you're going to want to paint white. That way the the print is going to show more vibrant, but I didn't want it to be very vibrant. I wanted it to kind of be a green muted underneath. But what I would do in the future is use a thinner decoupage medium. This Mod Podge was too thick. I should have watered it down or used some other thinner medium that I had on hand, because as you see there, because I didn't paint it white underneath, you can see some of the glue that has dried underneath. So that's my tip for you guys and for myself for next time is if I'm not painting white underneath, is to use a thinner decoupage medium. So once I have that done, I'm applying a decoupage on top, and I'm gonna fix that those white lines later on, you'll see. So you'll see here my screw broke off in this cupboard door because, like I said, this wood, it was so hard that it broke my screw off. So I drilled a little hole in there on the back before to hang my hanger, and I used a shorter screw so I didn't have to go so far down in the cupboard door and break my screw off again. So once I had the hanger on there, I turned it over, and I'm giving my piece some distressing because I wanted some of that blue that was already on the cupboard door to show through, and it looks beautiful with this green color. So I'm because it's chalk paint, I was able to wet distress it instead of sanding it. So I just got a wet rag and distressed it along the edges. Now I'm using some burlap here, and I'm going to cut that down to the size that I want to go in the middle. So I'm going to make a pocket on this door, and I still have that beautiful tissue paper in the background. And this little stencil here that says Farm Fresh, I picked that up at the Dollar Tree as well, my friends. So check out your local Dollar Tree to see if they have some stencils like this. I picked up a whole bunch. Now I should have put some tape on those numbers. As you'll see later on, I went over a little bit of those numbers by mistake. A little bit of paint got in there, and I had to adjust this stencil to make it fit on this piece of burlap here, but it turned out so nice. And I'm just using some acrylic paint here and a makeup brush actually to apply it, and I helped that along again with my heat gun and let that set aside for a little bit. And here's where I'm going to fix up those white stripes showing through. So first I'm applying my clear wax, and I'm just applying it on the top portion there that's going to show once I have my little pocket on there. So I'm applying some clear wax first and then some black wax, and what this does, the clear wax acts as like an eraser. If you apply too much black wax, then it's easier to get it off if you have a clear wax underneath. So applying that black wax, I'm just kind of giving it a little bit more so those white glue stripes don't show through. And as you see, I didn't apply it all the way down because I'm going to apply this pocket now with some hot glue, and I didn't want that wax to interfere with the hot glue that I was going to apply. So I just took my iron here and pressed it on the top with put my parchment paper on top there and ironed that to heat set that acrylic paint on there. So now I'm just applying my hot glue along the edges and using a little tool here, I believe it's for nails, to press it in place. And because that hot glue can get very hot, and I have burnt myself with it, believe me. So now I do have a little finger thing here as well that you're going to see me use now to press in this jute rope that I'm going to use along the edges to give it that more finished look. So I'm going to go all along the edges, and you'll see I have my little pink finger on there to prevent myself from getting burnt. And I'm going to apply all of that along the edge there, and then I'm going to put some flowers in there, and I'm going to put a bunch of different flowers in here. And you let me know in the comments which flowers that you like the best. And let me know as well if you like that gift tissue paper background that I put behind the pocket. Let me know if you would have left this just plain and just put the pocket on, or do you like that gift tissue paper that I put on there? So I think I also give it a little bit more distressing after this as well, to bring some more of that blue out along the inside corners. And then, like I said, I'm going to try out a bunch of different florals inside that pocket. And let me know in the comments what you think of this piece and which of the florals you like the best. And I am going to finish off this piece with some clear wax and then some black wax. And this piece is finished. For my next piece, I'm going to be working on this beat up toolbox that I picked up from the Habitat for Humanity. And because it's metal, I am going to apply a Fusion Ultra Grip. And that way it's going to help your paint stick better to the metal. Because I find if you don't do this, your paint will come off very easily. And if you don't have Fusion Ultra Grip, you could use something like a Rust-Oleum clear coat, maybe a Decoupage medium. So once I have this all covered all over in the Fusion Ultra Grip, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to apply my paint. So that's what it looks like once it's dry. So it dries translucent. So now I'm using this beautiful Fusion paint in Midnight Blue. Isn't this a gorgeous blue? I absolutely love it. So I'm going to paint this toolbox all over with the Fusion Midnight Blue paint, except for the inside. On the inside, I'm using this green chalk paint here that I mixed up that you saw in my previous DIY. And first I was going to just cover the inside with like a contact paper or something, but I changed my mind. I thought this green looks beautiful with that blue, but I did not put the Fusion Ultra Grip on the inside, like I said, because I was going to cover it up. But I went in a different direction and used the chalk paint. And you'll see there was a little bit of bleed through on the inside. So if I was to do this again, I would have applied the Fusion Ultra Grip on the inside as well. So next here, I'm trying out some Prima Redesign transfers that I picked up from Amazon. So a bunch of different floral designs, and this turns out so gorgeous on this midnight blue with all of these pink flowers, and I think I put mostly pink, but I put a few of some other colors as well. So I'm just trying out some pieces, see where I want to place them. And this is such an easy way to level up your DIY, and you just place it where you want and then burnish it down with the tool that it comes with in the package. So I'm just placing it here where I want, and now I'm going to burnish all these down, and it turns out beautiful on this color. So you'll kind of know that you've had that it's burnishing down because the clear plastic that's on the transfers, it kind of turns like a translucent color, and that's how you know it's burnished down. And I burnish it some more with that by pressing it in with that plastic that it comes there. And I'm just, you know, placing out all my flowers, and I'm going to do the same thing. And inside the toolbox where I painted it with the green chalk paint, I'm going to use some IOD stamps that turns out beautiful as well. So friends, if you have an old toolbox laying around or an old box, this is a great way to make it look beautiful again. You saw how this toolbox looked in the beginning. It looked like trash, right? Or maybe not trash for if you want to just throw tools in it, but you can use this piece for tools. You can use it for your paint supplies, crafting supplies. You can also use it for a makeup container. This little toolbox has so many uses for it. You could put some flowers in it, some plants, and whatever your heart desires, you can use this piece for. So this is how you can take an old piece and just turn it into something beautiful again for, you know, not a lot of money. So I'm continuing and placing my flowers, and once I have that done, I am also going to use an IOD script stamp on all the places that I didn't put the flowers. So I'm going to use a gold ink on my script stamp and place that all over the rest of the toolbox. And this turns out so stunning that I'm not sure I can sell it, but we'll see. I'm gonna think on it and see if I'm gonna want to keep this for myself or if I want to sell it. You let me know after you see the finished product what you would do. Would you buy something like this? Would you keep it for yourself if you made it? Let me know in the comments what you would do. Here I have my IOD script stamp, and this stamp is so versatile. I've used it in multiple projects. So these stamps can be expensive, but they're going to last you a long time because they're made very well, and you can use them on multiple projects. And I do have a little script stamp off to the side there. If you see the pink there, it's a little one, but the script is smaller, that I picked up on Amazon. So you could also look on Amazon for something like that as well if you want a script stamp for smaller projects. And doesn't that gold script look gorgeous on there with the flowers? Let me know what you think of that. If you would have done that, or if you would have just left it without the script. I love it. And I put this all over the box, on the back, on the sides, and the only place I didn't put it was on the bottom. And I did paint the bottom too, by the way. I like to finish the bottoms and the backs of pieces as well. Unless the backs or the bottoms are already in good condition, maybe, like some pieces you don't need to do that. But this was looking shabby on the bottom, so I did paint it that midnight blue as well. So now I'm using some gold ink along the edges, just kind of dabbing it on. I think I dabbed a little bit along the flowers there as well, just to kind of tie everything in. And it turned out so beautiful. You're going to see the pictures in the end, and you're going to be just blown away how the transformation of this piece. So here I'm applying it on the back, and if you don't get it absolutely perfect, it's hard to tell that you made a mistake with the script stamp. Sometimes you can tell if it's a rounded piece that I've done in the past, where it's hard to get the stamp around a rounded piece. But even if it doesn't look perfect, it still looks beautiful. So here are the stamps I'm going to use on the inside. IOD stamps again. This is the Sprigs stamp set. And inside I'm applying a blue ink. I had a blue ink on hand, so I thought that would tie in nicely with the paint color, and it looks so beautiful on the green. You could use whatever color you choose. Now you see that little bleed through that came there in the bottom, and I think if I would have used the Fusion Ultra Grip, you might not have seen that, but that's okay. It still looks beautiful. It looks much better than it did. So let me know what you think of these stamps on the inside, if you would have done that or if you would have just left it plain. And you'll also see me use some Dollar Tree stamps here. So again, check out your local dollar store for some craft stamps. I picked these up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm putting some words here. And I'm going to put a bird as well. And I picked both of these up at the Dollar Tree. Have a bunch of bird stamps and a bunch of stamps with some butterflies and some words. And there's the birds. Aren't they beautiful? So go check out your local dollar store, friends, and see if they have something like this. These stamps here are good for like little additions you want to put on your piece. And I think the words said, enjoy the little things. So once I had all my stamps on there, and I did spray it with a Rust-Oleum clear coat and let that dry before I put my wax on, because you don't want to smear your wax, guys. If that's not dry, it's gonna smear, and I know from experience. So once I started applying my wax inside, I thought I wasn't going to do anything with the handle and the latch, and I thought I'm going to just bring this piece up even more by adding some gold paint to tie in with the gold script. I'm going to apply that to the handle and the latch, and this, friends, took the piece up even to a higher level. Let me know if you would have painted the handle and the latch gold, or if you would have just left it. And I'm kind of using some gold paint on some of the branches there on the flowers. And then once that was all dry, let it dry before you apply your wax so you don't smear anything. Once it was all dry, I applied clear wax to seal in all my beautiful work here, and this piece is finished. This is what it looked like before, and let me know, friends, what you think of this gorgeous piece. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Don't forget to give the video a like and a comment. This helps YouTube promote my videos more. And don't forget to go in the description box and see all the other amazing creators. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.